Hello, my name is Ari Qayumi, Managing Partner of Mindful Venture Capital, and I have a secret, behavior design and mindful technologies. Thanks for being here today, and let's dive in. So the last time we were chatting, a lot of what we were talking about was how is this channel going to be used? What kind of topics are we going to be covering? One of the requests I received was actually to talk a little bit more about myself. And so today we are going to do just that. We're going to talk a little bit more about my upbringing and how this influenced me to start analyzing the world more mindfully early on. So where did I come from? Well, I was born in the Bay Area and then raised between here and Arizona until my early teens or so. And then following college, I ended up settling in the Bay Area, and I have called this place my home since, which I love. Now, with regard to what about the people who raised me? Who are they? All that jazz. Well, my mother is American with Northern and Eastern European background. She was born in Ohio and came over to Berkeley when she was 30, Berkeley, California. My father is also American, born in Kabul, Afghanistan. He moved to Berkeley, California when he was in his early 20s and was later naturalized as an American citizen. Now, in terms of kind of culturally, what were the maternal side of my family like and the paternal side? So on my mom's side of the family, comes from a working class family, which highly values education, good healthcare, the arts, social justice, and human rights. On my dad's side, it comes from a well-off merchant family that firmly believes in education for both sons and daughters. And not to mention, they brought the first refrigerator to Afghanistan, which is pretty cool. So how does this relate, though, to influencing my ability to analyze the world a bit more mindfully? Well, here's the thing. My parents both strongly valued my education and education in general as a means to further and serve society. At the same time, my mother is very liberal. My father is very conservative. So I learned very quickly how to, look at these various situations from different points of views about their overall and respective societal value, as well as return on investment. Here's the thing. My family is also clearly multicultural, right? As well as a bunch of other things that we'll get into another time. But we didn't actually make a big deal of this, during my upbringing. And so it took me a while to understand this, as well as understand how I related to other people in school, as well as in the workplace, etc. I have a bunch of fun examples another time I can share, but for today, let's just push on. So the part that's really relevant today into this channel is that more often than not, I did not agree with either of my parents' perspectives. My experience growing up was very different than both of theirs. So, being able to quickly identify these differences, similarities, where there was pure common ground between my parents and myself was quite frankly critical for being able to have a civil debate. And other times, if I did agree with one side over the other, the reality is that it was still one side over the other. So in talking about this as a family, actually facilitating those kinds of conversations, I learned that better solutions were able to be achieved by sharing these different perspectives on how to approach something. What was the logic from different cultural backgrounds, and what that led me to actually end up doing is how do we now create this new culture of shared values, this collective wisdom, if you will. And from my view, a lot of what really goes into mindful in my work now is really the Qayumi culture, the values, the wisdom, the principles. And from a really young age, this is where I started to analyze things and be creative in my problem solving and my thinking. A lot of it was looking at what are people saying, listening to that. Well, now what are people actually doing and watching what they're doing? Now, the bigger part and the bigger step was when I was a lot older, but that had to do with actually minding how does someone now actually practice their walk of life? What is their lifestyle approach? And that was the key differentiator in being able to identify patterns at a larger scale. We can get into that in another episode. But for today, I think what we can do is we can wrap up. I just wanted to give you a little heads up. The following requests that I received so far are, Ari, please share more about your background, where you came from, how did you get to where you are? The second one was more in the bucket of share definitions on, what does it mean to be conscious? What is intelligence? What is mindful? What is technology? How do all these things relate across, the fuzzy tech divide? And then, the final one was, how about some real world examples? You know, I'm sure that I've seen this in my life, and, you know, I probably look at the world in a similar way. Give me some examples so I can really root this in something and start to see patterns in my own life. So in the next 3 videos, we are going to do just that. Subscribe below to join my journey of behavior design and mindful technologies. Thanks again for joining today, and I will see you Thursday at roughly 5:30 p.m., most likely after. All right, ciao.